Hello and welcome. I'm Yoga Mama Jess. I'm so glad to see you. Now, we all know that our shoulders like to hold on to a lot of stress and tension, and we like to address those in our yoga practice. But a body part we might not think about that likes to hold on to a lot of stress and tension is in fact our hips. And sometimes we don't know this until we start to get into those hips and stretch them out, that we realize there really is a lot of tightness going on there. I've got one little bug hanging out here. The reason being is our hips are literally connected to everything in our body. They're connected to all of our leg muscles, front and back, all of our core muscles, front and back. And let's face it, we do a lot with our hips because whether we're walking, standing, sitting, whatever it is, it all starts with the hips. So let's work on giving those guys some love today. Let's start with some simple sun salutations just to warm up the body. So bring your hands to your heart, feet together at the top of your mat. On your inhale, sweep the arms overhead, gazing up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at your hips. Inhale, come up to a flat back, spine is parallel to the ground. Exhale, plant your hands, feet to plank, lower down, knees, chest, chin, elbows hug the ribs. Drop your hips. Inhale, lift up to cobra. Roll those shoulders down and back. Exhale, tuck your toes. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. Now here in our downward dog, we want to extend our arms out from our shoulders, extend our legs out from our hips. Let your head hang in between your arms. Maybe shake your head no, and nod your head yes. And just let that neck relax. With your next inhale, lengthen through your spine. On your exhale, step your feet up to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale the arms up, gazing up. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, feet to plank. Lower knees, chest, chin, or if you're ready, try on a chaturanga yoga push-up. Inhale, press up, cobra, or upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. So again, in our downward dog, think about pressing your hands forward. Shift your hips back over your legs. Now bend your right knee, press your left heel down. And then bend your left knee, press your right heel down. Just walk off this dog, alternating the bend in the knee. Maybe start to press those hips from side to side. This should be a really great stretch down the back sides of the legs. Bring your heels back towards your mat. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, feet up to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale the arms up, gazing up. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, feet to plank, lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, press up strong, but relax those shoulders. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Now, spreading your weight equally between right and left hands. On your next inhale, lift that right leg overhead, three-legged dog. Now, you might even notice that left heel presses a little closer to the ground. Maybe not, that's okay. Now, just bend your right knee and then roll that right hip open. But keep those shoulders squared. Don't dump into that left shoulder. Now, stay here, or maybe take a little hip circle. Drawing some circles in one direction. And then when you're ready, reverse the circle. Ooh, just getting that hip joint lubricated a little bit. And then extend that right leg up. Inhale, lift a little bit higher. Exhale, shift forward, knee to nose. Place that right foot in between your hands. Now, if you need to, help that foot forward. Maybe walk your left foot back so that the right knee is over your heel. Find your lunge. Lower your left knee down, untuck the toes. Walk your hands up above your right knee, or if you're ready, sweep the arms overhead. Reach up through the fingertips, slide the shoulders down and back. Now, I know our focus today is on those hips. We haven't warmed up the hips too much just yet, so if this isn't comfortable, back it off a little bit if needed. As we take a few more breaths here, you might notice that hips sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release. Arms down. Now straighten the right leg. Pull that right hip back. Pull the right toes in towards you. If you've got a little more flexibility in the hamstring, you can reach your left hand towards your right foot. Now point your toes, shift forward, come back into your lunge. Left hand to the inside of the right foot, right arm up, lunge twist. Really roll that right shoulder open, let that left hip sink down. Inhale, twist. Exhale, release. Plant your right hand. Tuck your left toes, lift your knee. Now listen up. You can step right into downward facing dog or child's pose, or let's flow through a vinyasa. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, press up, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. So really spread your fingers, plant your palms, and then with your next inhale, left leg goes up. Bend your knee, open up that hip. Remember, keep those shoulders square. And now draw some circles with that left knee. And this side might feel very different than the other side did. That's normal. Whenever you're ready, reverse the circle. And then extend that left leg up. Inhale, lift a little bit higher. Exhale, shift forward, knee to nose. Find your way into your lunge on the other side. So again, help that foot forward if needed. We want the left knee over the heel. Lower the right knee down, untuck your toes. Walk your hands up above your left knee. Stay here. If you'd like a little more, just reach the arms overhead. Slide those shoulders down and back, and then maybe start to sink down into that right hip. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, release the arms down. Straighten your left leg. Pull your left hip back. Pull those toes in towards you. Now fold over that straight left leg. Now, something I always notice, anytime we fold forward, we have a tendency of crunching the shoulders up to the ears. So just notice now on this forward fold, relax those shoulders down and back. And then again, if you'd like a little more, reach your right hand to your left toes. Keep pulling that left hip back, waking up the hamstring. Now point your toes, shift forward, come back into your lunge. Right hand down, left arm up. Roll that left shoulder open, let that right hip sink down. Inhale, open. Exhale, release, left hand down. Tuck your right toes, lift your knee. Again, stepping to downward facing dog, maybe a breather in child's pose, or flow through this vinyasa with me. With your next inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, feet up to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Now feet together. Bend your knees. Inhale, arms up, chair pose. Good, let's warm up those hips and legs a little bit more. Relax your shoulders, open your heart, sink those hips. Now look down, make sure you can see those toes. If you don't see those toes, sink it back a little bit more. Remember, it's called chair pose. It's like you're going to sit in a chair and then you remember, I don't need a chair. I've got these strong legs to hold me up. Good, keep breathing here, keep smiling. Inhale, sink those hips a little bit lower. Exhale, straighten your legs and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, feet to plank, lower down. Inhale, press up nice and strong. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, shift forward, knee to nose, find your lunge. Now walk that right foot forward so the knee is over your heel. Remember, option is to come down onto your left knee. Try to challenge yourself by staying up on those toes. From here, walk your hands up above your right knee. Maybe sweep the arms overhead. Sink those hips. Really reach back nice and strong through that left heel. So the hip flexor is a muscle that we don't think about very often, but I bet you're thinking about it right now. That poor little hip flexor gets so tight with every single thing that we do. Sitting, standing, walking. And so while it might be talking to you, I hope it does say some really nice things like, thank you for stretching me out. Inhale, reach up tall. On your exhale, just drop your left hand down to your mat. Taking our lunge twist once again. Remember, option is to come down onto your left knee. Roll that right shoulder open, let that left hip sink down. Inhale, open up. Exhale, release, right hand down. Now I apologize, my back will be to the camera for this, but I want you to stay in this lunge, but turn your toes to the right side of your mat. Come on to the outer edge of your left foot. So same lunge, we're just facing the right side of the mat. You're gonna feel this in the outside of the right hip, and then if you have enough flexibility, start to drop your left hip down. Ooh. Again, remember, you should feel something. It shouldn't be pain, but I do want you to feel something in those hips. Breathe here, maybe sinking the hip, maybe lifting it up if that feels better. I think this feels amazing. I could probably stay here all morning. And now slowly start to lift up. Rotate your toes back to the front of the mat. Downward facing dog, child's pose, or let's flow. Our sandhill cranes are also saying good morning. With your next inhale, left leg up. Exhale, shift forward, knee to nose. Find your lunge. Again, you can come down onto the right knee, but try to challenge yourself. Stay up on those right toes as you walk your hands above the left knee. Maybe sweep the arms overhead, relax the shoulders, sink that right hip. Good, so this crescent lunge is such a great pose. We're working strength, we're working balance, and of course, getting into that right hip. Now from here, just bring your right hand down to your mat, rotate the left arm open, lunge twist. Roll your left shoulder open, let that right hip sink down. Inhale, twist. Exhale, release. Now taking what I hope you also think is an awesome hip stretch on the other side. So start by turning your left toes to the left side of the mat. Come onto the outer edge of the right foot. Take your time here. Maybe you stay here, maybe you drop that right hip down. Oh, I think this feels so good. So again, all 10 toes pointing to the left side of the mat, and then you decide how low you want to go with those hips. I have to say, it's a little bit of an arm workout too for this right arm. So keep breathing. And then start to lift those hips. Turn your toes back to the front of your mat. Let's flow, or we'll meet you in downward facing dog. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, feet up to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, feet together. One more time, bend those knees. Inhale, arms up, chair pose. Good, those hips are warming up. I know they are. Inhale, sink it a little bit deeper. Exhale, straighten your legs and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, feet to plank, lower down. Inhale, press up, shoulders back and relaxed. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. One more lunge sequence to get into those hips just a little bit more. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step it forward, find your lunge. Now this time, right arm comes to the inside of your right leg. Walk that right foot over to the edge of your mat, and then gently lower the left knee down, untuck your toes. Ooh, I've got some crazy hair today. Now from here, I want to remind you, this we like to call this our lizard lunge. My girls love to call this lizard lunge. So from here, I want to remind you, your right foot and your left knee are not glued down to the mat. So be fluid with this pose. I want you to find the best spot that feels so good for your hips right here. So hands are down on your mat, and then maybe just kind of rock those hips side to side. Just kind of get a feel for the lizard. And maybe you even walk those right toes forward. Maybe you walk that right foot off of your mat. Maybe you come down to one elbow. Maybe you come down to both elbows. So again, just have some fun here with this pose. It should feel really, really good. But maybe you just need to move around a little bit to find that spot that feels the best for right now. So take your time here, and then again, maybe you get a little deeper into this lunge, and then you gently rock those hips side to side. Giving a little bit of love to that right hamstring at the same time. Now, if you are down on one elbow or both elbows, just start to press yourself back up. Walk that right foot in so that it's back in line with your right hip. And now, maybe come up on your fingertips, sit up a little bit taller. Come onto the outer edge of that right foot. Right hand to the inside of your knee, and just apply a gentle, gentle pressure here. So this is kind of the same stretch, the same sensation, I guess you could say, that we felt in that last awesome hip stretch. Let that left hip sink down, so we're getting the front side of the left hip and then the outside of the right hip. And then relax those shoulders. Gently bring that knee back up to center. Ow. Hands down. Tuck your left toes, lift your knee. Let's step right into downward facing dog. Ooh. And then from your dog, go ahead, walk it out, bending one knee and then the other. Bring those heels back towards your mat. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, shift forward. And find your lunge. So left knee is over your heel. Lower your right knee down, untuck your toes. And then bring your left arm to the inside of your left leg. Walk that left foot to the outer edge of your mat. And then remember, lizard lunge, super fluid movement here. Try on what feels good. Maybe you walk your left foot further forward. Maybe you walk that left foot off of your mat. Maybe you just kind of hang out and rock those hips side to side a little bit. And then if you're feeling pretty loose in those hips, and I hope you are, maybe come down to one elbow, maybe both elbows. And again, feel free to move that left leg around a little bit more. Anytime I do a pose like this, it's when I notice I could really use a pedicure. Now slowly start to come out of this lunge. Walk that left foot back in so it's lined up with your hip. Maybe come up a little bit taller on the fingertips as you come to the outer edge of your left foot. Left hand to the inside of your right knee and just apply a gentle pressure. Remember, relax those shoulders here. Let that right hip drop down. Let that left knee open up. Bring your knee back up to center. Take your time. Plant your hands. Tuck your right toes. Lift your knee. Step right into downward facing dog. And just walk out this dog. Notice how those hips feel. Heels back towards your mat. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, feet up to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Now let your arms hang. As you inhale, slowly round up. Exhale, roll your shoulders down and back. Keep your arms down to your sides, maybe hands to your heart. I hope your hips are feeling very happy right now. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Until next time, thank you and namaste.